The heist inside the heist. When the vault door finally opened, none of us spoke. For a moment we just stared. Even after months of planning, seeing it in person felt unreal. Rows of safety deposit boxes stretched across the massive underground chamber, like metallic shelves of buried treasure. The thousands of them, each one holding secrets someone powerful wanted hidden. Carlos let out a low whistle. Well, this just got real. But we didn't have time to admire the view. Lena checked the timer on her laptop. 3 minutes and 40 seconds, she said. That's all the camera loop I've got left. I nodded. Everyone knows their targets. We split instantly. Carlos headed to the left row. Derek moved to the center section. Marcus walked toward the far wall, and I headed for the first box on our list, box 122. Carlos handed me a compact lock breaker we'd spent weeks testing. The device snapped into place around the lock cylinder. I twisted the handle. Click. The box slid open. Inside was a black velvet pouch. I opened it quickly. Diamonds. No, small ones either. Each stone easily worth tens of thousands. I dumped them into the duffel bag at my feet and moved to the next box. Across the room, Derek whispered excitedly. Gold bars. Carlos laughed quietly. No, we're talking. For a moment, everything was perfect exactly like we planned. Box after box opened. Jewelry gold certificates. Stacks of rare coins. The bags were filling fast. But Marcus wasn't touching any of it. Instead, he walked straight toward a single box on the far wall, box 718. I noticed it immediately. Because unlike the others, Marcus wasn't rushing. He moved slowly, carefully, like someone approaching something extremely important. At the time, I assumed the box contained something valuable, but I didn't realize it was the only reason Marcus was here. Marcus pulled a small keycard from his pocket. A real one, no stolen, no copied. His own technician access card. He slid it into the slot beside the box. The lock clicked open instantly. Inside was a small matte black case. No gold, no diamonds, just the case. Marcus opened it. Inside sat a tiny encrypted data drive. No bigger than a flash drive. But judging by Marcus's expression, it was worth far more than anything else in the vault. He slipped the drive into his jacket pocket and quietly closed the box. Then he turned back toward us, watching, waiting. Lena's voice crackled through the earpiece. 2 minutes, we moved faster. Another box. Another handful of diamonds. Carlos cracked open a box filled with antique gold coins. Derek grabbed a sealed envelope full of bearer bonds. Our bags were nearly full. This was going to be the biggest score any of us had ever pulled. But then Marcus checked his watch, and something strange happened. He smiled. Just slightly. And then he did something none of us noticed at the time. He pulled out his phone and sent a message. No to us. No to anyone in the crew. To someone else, Police Dispatch. Earlier that night, Marcus had made an anonymous report. A robbery tip. But he had delayed the alert. Exactly 6 minutes. Which meant that right now, somewhere across the city, police were lighting up with an emergency call. Possible robbery in progress at Dominion Reserve. Back inside the vault, we had no idea. We were still focused on the loot. Lena's voice came again. 1 minute, wrap it up. Carlos slammed another box shut. That's it for me. Derek zipped his duffel bag closed. Same here. I grabbed the final pouch of diamonds and nodded. Time to go. We rushed toward the vault entrance. Everything had gone perfectly, exactly according to plan. But the moment we stepped into the corridor, we heard its sirens, distant at first, then growing louder. I froze. Did anyone hear that? Carlos frowned. Yeah. Another siren joined the first, then another. Within seconds, it sounded like half the police force was heading in our direction. Lena's voice exploded through the earpiece. Guys, I'm seeing something weird. What? Police scanners are lighting up. My stomach tightened. How many? Too many. Marcus acted confused. That doesn't make sense. Derek looked toward the exit stairwell. I'm checking outside. He ran up the stairs 2 at a time. 30 seconds later, he came crashing back down, eyes wide. They're everywhere. How many? I demanded. At least 15 cars, Carlos cursed. That's impossible. No alarm was triggered, Lena said. The system still thinks everything is normal. Then how did they know? That question hit all of us at the same time. And slowly my eyes turned toward Marcus. because only one person inside this building had access to both the system schedule and our entry window. Marcus raised his hand slightly. Don't look at me, but something in his voice felt wrong, too calm, too prepared. Did you call this in? I asked quietly. Marcus didn't answer. The sirens outside were getting closer, much closer. Derek grabbed my arm. Victor, we've got maybe 2 minutes before they storm the building. Carlos pointed toward the service corridor. We can still escape through the maintenance exit. Marcus shook his head. No? Everyone looked at him. What do you mean no? Carlos snapped. Marcus glanced toward a different hallway. One none of us had studied on the blueprints. There's another exit. Where? I demanded. Marcus stepped backward slowly. Over there. Then he smiled. And in that moment, everything suddenly made sense. Marcus had never been worried about the heist failing. He had never been interested in the gold, or the diamonds, or the millions sitting inside the vault, because he had come here for something else. Something far more valuable, the drive. And now that he had it, he didn't need us anymore. Marcus, I said quietly. You set us up. Marcus didn't deny it. Instead, he simply shrugged. You guys were the perfect distraction. Carlos lunged forward, but Marcus was already moving. He sprinted down the unfamiliar hallway and disappeared around the corner. Derek tried to chase him, but the sound of boots pounding down the stairs stopped him. Police were already inside the building. Lena's voice came through one last time. They're entering the vault level. Carlos looked at me. What do we do? But I already knew the answer. The job was over, and the real robbery had never been the vault. The real robbery had been us. Because while we thought we were stealing millions, Marcus had stolen something far more valuable, and he had used us to get it. Somewhere above us, officers were shouting commands. Footsteps were getting closer, weapons being loaded. Derek dropped the duffel bag. We're screwed. Carlos leaned against the wall. Yeah, we are. And somewhere in the distance, Marcus Reed was already walking out of the building, free, carrying the one thing he had come for, the one thing worth betraying his entire crew for. The thing hidden inside box 718. The heist. Inside the heist. The first thing you notice when a heist collapses is the silence. No, the quiet kind. The heavy kind. The kind where everyone realizes at the exact same moment that the plan is over. That's what happened in the vault corridor that night. For months, we had rehearsed every second of the job, every movement, every possible mistake. But we never planned for the one thing that actually happened, betrayal. Within seconds, police officers stormed the hallway, flashlights cut through the darkness. Don't move, drop the bags. Carlos slowly raised his hands. Derek did the same. I knew resisting would only make things worse. The bags filled with diamonds and gold dropped to the floor. The job was over. And Marcus Reed was gone. The news exploded the next morning. Every major network covered the story. Major vault robbery attempt foiled. Criminal crew arrested inside Dominion Reserve. The police looked like heroes. They displayed the stolen valuables in front of cameras. Diamonds, gold bars, rare coins, everything we had taken from the vault. But there was one thing they never mentioned. The one item missing from box 718. Because no one knew it was gone. Except Marcus. And eventually, me. The police interrogated us for hours. They wanted names, plans, motives, but the truth was, we didn't have much to give them, because the person who had orchestrated the entire setup had already disappeared. Marcus Reed, the inside man. The technician, the ghost. By the time investigators searched his apartment the next morning, it was empty, completely cleaned out. No computer, no documents, no phone, nothing. Marcus had vanished, and the police had no idea why. To them, Marcus was just another accomplice who ran when the robbery failed, but I knew better, because the robbery hadn't failed. No, really. It had succeeded. Box 718. 3 months later, I finally learned the truth. Mo, from the police, framed someone who visited me in prison. What was inside box 700? A briefcase. My name is Nefasing Felf, simply. He sat down across the table and studied me quietly. You're Victor Kane. That's what they tell me. He opened the briefcase and pulled out a photograph. It showed the inside of box 718, the empty box. Then he placed another photo beside it. A picture of the encrypted drive. My chest tightened. So that's what Marcus stole. Mercer nodded. Yes. What's on it? Mercer leaned back. The kind of information people kill for. Then he explained. Dominion Reserve wasn't just a vault for valuables, it was also used as a secret archive for powerful people. Inside, Box 718 was a data drive containing decades of financial records, offshore accounts, illegal transactions, bribes, hidden political donations, evidence tying dozens of influential figures to corruption, and Marcus had stolen it. No, for money, for leverage. Because whoever controlled that data could blackmail half the city. Where is he now? I asked. Mercer smiled slightly. If I knew that, I wouldn't be here. Then why are you here? Mercer slid another photo across the table. It showed Marcus, standing in an airport, boarding a private jet. That photo was taken 12 hours after your arrest. Marcus had been gone before the news even broke, before the police realized what had happened, before anyone even knew something was missing. He played you perfectly, Mercer said. Your crew distracted the entire security system while he retrieved the one item that actually mattered. I leaned back in my chair. It finally made sense. The questions Marcus asked during planning, the strange calm he showed during the heist, the way he ignored the gold and diamonds, none of it mattered to him. The entire robbery had been a cover, a distraction, a heist inside the heist. Mercer closed the briefcase. Marcus Reed is now one of the most wanted men in the financial world. No, by the police, by the people whose secrets he stole. The aftermath. The crew received prison sentences. Carlos got 8 years. Derek got 6. Lena took a deal and got 5. I got 10. But Marcus was free. For a while, because something Mercer said stuck with me. Marcus didn't steal money. He stole power, and power creates enemies. Lots of them. People with money. People with influence. People who don't forgive betrayal. 3 years passed. Life inside prison moves slowly, but news still finds its way inside. One morning I was sitting in the cafeteria when someone slid a newspaper across the table. "Hey, Kane," the guy said. "You know this guy?" I looked down at the article, and there he was, Marcus Reed. But the headline wasn't about money, or blackmail, or corruption. It was about something else. Fugitive linked to Dominion Vault heist found dead in Prague hotel. I read the article, twice. Marcus had been discovered in a hotel room overseas. No signs of forced entry, no witnesses, just a dead man and an empty safe. The encrypted drive was missing. No one knew who took it. No one knew what happened to the data, and no one ever would, because whoever recovered that drive would never admit it existed. I folded the newspaper slowly. Marcus had played the perfect game. He betrayed his entire crew, manipulated a robbery, stole the most valuable secret in the city, and ran halfway across the world. But in the end, he forgot the first rule of a successful heist. The rule I mentioned at the beginning: never trust anyone, because somewhere out there, someone else had pulled off another heist, the final one, and Marcus Reed was the victim. The truth is, in the world of thieves and secrets, there's always someone planning the next move. Someone smarter, someone more patient. Someone waiting for the right moment, and sometimes, the biggest robbery isn't the one you see coming. That is the end of this interesting story titled, He Robbed His Own Crew, the heist inside the heist. If this story kept you on the edge of your seat, then you're going to love what's coming next. This channel is packed with mind-blowing betrayal stories, shocking revenge plots, and unbelievable twists that will keep you hooked from start to finish. Like this video if you enjoy intense crime and betrayal stories. Comment below, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story, because the next betrayal, the next revenge, and the next shocking twist might be even more unbelievable than this one. Stay tuned, the best stories are still coming.